This is NDTV. And you're watching Metro Nation Delhi.
Well, we enjoy the rocking tug ride. You guys go and find out about an upcoming play in the city. It's called A Perfect Relationship, and we're talking to the directors and the actors. Whoa! Woo!
You know, what I want to see from you? Satisfaction.
Oh, you mean like I'm momentarily satisfied?
Oh, I just love this. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Even straight couples have their own problems.
Nightclub?
What nightclub?
Oh, that nightclub. Doesn't it hurt?
What, dancing?
No, hanging by a wall from a trapeze.
Sunny, intelligent, perceptive persons like yourself have no need to resort to fists.
You're a hot man.
Thanks.
I'm an architect. So what? I'm a big success.
Sunny, if you don't back off, someone is going to get hurt.
Seriously, two guys are rocking me hot, man. Yes, I have second sight. What happens next?
A Perfect Relationship was first performed in the city in June this year, and the innuendos were lapped up by most of the audience, barring a few who found it tad offensive and perhaps too bold.
Walking. God knows what you told Ashwin.
We're trying to break stereotypes using humor. So people did say, I've heard people say that it's a brave production. We have not held back, whether it is in language or whether it is in using terminology, in a humorous way, of course. You know, we're not trying to make a heavy statement here or anything of that. So people have come up with saying that it was really first and foremost, it's a very funny play, and it's relevant. It's everyday story. It could be anybody's story.
He sat alone.
The play is dialogue heavy with witty one-liners and sarcastic comebacks. Even though it has been adapted from a play written by American playwright Doric Wilson about 30 years ago, it wasn't changed much for the Delhi audience.
He's here? Probably not.
In case you didn't know
The comic timing between the actors is what gives the play its edge, and perhaps that's why the most important and difficult task was to get the right kind of people to play the role of gay flatmates and the landlady.
Whatever I may have said.
The idea was not to make this guy or these guys gay. I mean, the idea is they're just normal guys. They just happen to be gay. I mean, it's the stereotype of this effeminate gay men. That's exactly what we don't want anyway. And to be fair, not all gay men are like that. So
My character in the play is called Rehan, and he's a teacher, and he's got a slightly sort of sarcastic sense of humor, somewhat repressed. Not that I'm all impressed by
The play might become a runaway success, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee a change in the mindset of the Indian audience.
I wouldn't go so far as to say a major shift, because that's really claiming too much. But I do see, and I've wanted to do this play for a long time. And I'm happy to be able to do this in a city like Delhi, where, you have a strong gay movement, which is fighting for gay rights. And equally, you have a society where the stereotypes exist and the fear of homosexuality exists. And I hope that I'm sort of bridging the gap between these two with this play.
To watch people portray homosexuality is how I would put it. But that we see that in television, and movies. So I don't think there's a big paradigm shift here. It's regular, as long as you're entertained by what is going on.
if they can watch a gay play and come away and think, oh, that's normal, that happens all the time and it's funny, and move on, that's fine, because on a certain level they're also accepting it as normal behavior, so that's all right.
The way the audience spoke about it, it was as if suddenly something had kind of entered their consciousness, almost in the space of like 80 minutes. And so I think if you have a kind of like critical mass about it, there's enough of that happening, then it will.
You guys are
You might not get a winning formula for the perfect relationship through this play, but you can certainly enjoy a perfect queer comedy.
Later, when we're having sex,
This is NDTV. And you're watching Metro Nation Delhi.